Welcome to Viwanda Africa. Viwanda Africa will always endeavor to bring you stories in the village, at the local level, men and women, and especially young men who are doing things. Some of the things they do, the mainstream media is unable to pick and bring out to the light. But Viwanda Africa will go down to bring you talent, bring you men and women who are manufacturing at the cottage level and building our economy block by block, step by step. And so I met a friend of mine. Apparently we seem to come from the same locality, and I met him. I knew him as a gentleman who repairs generators and repairs motors, until we sat down to discuss about business. And I was so inspired, and I really hope that this story will also inspire you. His name is Omodo. Welcome, Omodo, to our podcast today. Please, let's get to know briefly who you are.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kwara. Omodo is just a young man, a husband, a father, and also an entrepreneur based here in Eldoret.
Oh, nice. Based in Eldoret. Yes. I'd like to know a bit of your educational background. How far did you go to school? What did you study? Yes. What is your professional life like?
So, Omodo is just a young man who was born here in Eldoret at a place called West Macharia. And my early education, primary, I started here in Eldoret. And then later on, after my father has retired, we went back to Busia. And then from that is where I did my secondary education. Later on, I came back here for my tertiary education, and I did a diploma in electrical engineering.
Wonderful. I met you. You're repairing your generator and repairing your motors. And when we began talking, I got to learn that you actually have another side hustle.
Yeah.
And you told me that you manufacture.
Yeah.
What is this that you manufacture?
Okay, as I've said, I am an electrical engineer by profession, and I really loved the machines. So after school, my father wanted me to do the normal wiring of electrical engineers, but I told him I had an interest in machines, so I wanted to know machines more and more. So I discovered my passion in motor rewinding, pump repairs, water pumps, and generators. So that is where I have been. But I've given myself a target because I wanted, at the age of 30, at least to transit, to get into something else, whereby I chose to get into manufacturing and production. And I asked myself the best thing that I can produce that everybody can buy. Because later on, I wanted to produce welding machines. But I sat down and asked myself, how many people are in need of welding machines?
Wow.
Yeah. So I discovered that I can make something that is consumable. So I had a lot of ideas. Sometimes I thought of matchsticks. I thought of tissue paper. I thought of very many ideas. But later on, I settled on making bar soaps.
Why did you settle on making bar soap?
So there's just this young man, a street guy, who inspired me. He came at my shop and he told me he wanted 50 bob just to buy a soap, a bar soap, to go and take shower. And then I asked myself, if a street guy, a street boy, can think of buying a soap, then we need to look at it and see that soap is something that everybody is consumable, either rich, either poor, everybody, regardless of your class in the society.
One thing that Omodo brings out very clearly is, at a very young age, he had a strategic vision, a very strategic design plan, that by 30 years, he will move out of motoring, doing motoring, to produce something.
Yeah.
And then he has a very alert mind in the sense that when young boy came to him and was going to buy soap, he figured out soap seems to be a commodity in a poor man's house and a rich man's house.
True.
And I think that's what really inspired you to begin to make soap.
Exactly. That is what inspired me, because there's nowhere in the world that you will go and find that there are no soap there. Even in the poorest slum and even the richest suburb areas, there must be soap. So it only depends on how I'm going to play on top of my game, on how I'm going to brand myself, so that my soap and my product can reach everywhere across.
Are you 30 now?
Right now I'm 30.
Wow.
In October I'll be turning 31.
So you're actually living your dream?
I'm actually living my dream.
So you decided to now set off in a journey to go and learn how to make soap. How did you, soap, and which particular soap are you talking about?
So last year, when I had a vision and a plan that immediately I reached that, I'll be thinking of something else. So I settled on making bar soaps. So I wanted to get a machine to make a bar soap before even thinking of going for training.
Hebu subiri hapo kwanza. You've mentioned something that, and this particular podcast will be listened to by a couple of young people. And many of us just leave, you don't even care. You celebrate birthday without any strategic plan. I'd like you to pick up something from Omodo, that at a very young age, he had already planned his life. At 30, he'll be doing something. He's now 30, and he's actually manufacturing bar soap.
Yeah.
Here on the table, what I have on the table is his bar soap.
Okay.
So wewe katika maisha yako 30, unafanya nini? What's your strategic plan? What do you want to do at 40? What do you want to do at 50? And so I just thought I need to interrupt you on that, because it's very, very important and very subtle. Hebu endelea.
So basically, personally, there's a way I've set my life. In every stage I have something to do, and every stage there's something that I've finished. Okay, when we get back away from the topic, at the age of 20, I had planned myself that at the age of 20 I need to have gotten married and have kids.
Wow.
By the way, I got married at the age of 20.
And
20? Yeah, at the age of 20. Because I just wanted, at the age of 40, my firstborn at the age of 40 will be out of school.
So ulikuwa na strategic plan yako uko nayo mpaka 50 ama 100?
Mpaka 100.
Let's get back to the bar soap. Tell me, where did you learn about this bar soap?
So last year, in October, November, around there, I just wanted a machine to make bar soap. So I went around the Juakali sector in Eldoret here asking who can make a
Before you go to the machine of making a bar soap, where you definitely needed to have learned about the formulation of bar soap and things like that, or you just went straight to a machine?
I just went straight to the machine.
Okay.
I never bothered about the formulation and where to get, because I knew if I get the machine, automatically I'll get the formulation. So I went straight to the machine. So I walked around the town asking whoever can make me the machine. Nobody, I found nobody. And then later on I convinced myself, let me get to Nairobi. When I reached Nairobi, I went straight to the Kariobangi Industries, Juakali Industries of Kariobangi. And from there, I got this man, the one who was producing those plodders. And then I asked him to...
What's a plodder?
A plodder is just a machine that is used to make bar soap.
Okay.
So I asked him, and he told me for one machine, I was getting it at 250,000. So later on, I realized I'm just a craftsman. I'm from Juakali. This is something I can make it by myself. So I told a friend of mine, I'm not going to buy this thing. I'm just going to see how I'm going to make it by myself. And I told the guy, just look for an old man here, talk to him, tell him you have somebody or your brother who is just out from school and wants to learn how to make the machines, different machine, not just upload a different machine. And then the guy went on and convinced the one who was to sell me the machine. And I have somebody who wants to train this job.
How to make machines.
How to make machines. How much are you going to charge him as a fee? And then the guy said he's going to charge, it was around 20 to 25,000, just around there. I can't remember it very well. So we paid.
So you paid 25,000 to go and learn how to make machines?
To go and learn how to make machines. But back in my mind, I just wanted to know how to make uploader by myself. You get the point? So I went there. So my concentration was only on uploader.
On uploader.
Not other machines. So whenever there's a young man, those maybe with the employers who are just employed there to make the machine, I'd be very keen, listen, be very attentive to get to know the measurements and what's needed, everything. After 3 weeks, I came back in Eldoret. Then I looked for somebody to do welding.
So for those 3 weeks, you had already known how the ploder is made?
I had already known how the ploder is made, the parts that are needed, the measurements and everything.
Wow. In those 3 weeks?
In those 3 weeks. Because personally, I have technical idea.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 weeks, you knew that by the time you come down to Eldoret, you'll be done with you can actually sit down and start making a ploder yourself. And by the way, a ploder is not just a small machine. A ploder is fairly complicated machine. We'll show you pictures of what a ploder is, and it is used to produce bar soap. It actually presses the nodules of bar soap to make this kind of a shape of bar soap. It's not as easy as you think. And so I want us to stop there in our part one. When we come to part two, we're going to get deep on the challenges, and basically we also want to know how you really walked through this journey to finally make your machine. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We really hope that you join us in part two. Omodo has a very interesting part of his story that he's not been able to talk to us about. Stay tuned. So welcome back to part two of our story with Omodo, and we really hope that Omodo can now be able to tell us his journey in making bar soap. Omodo, you're back in Eldoret. You have the knowledge. You were in this gentleman in Kariobangi. You learned how to make machines. Tell us what was next in your plate, on your plate.
Okay, when I came here, I had the parts that have to be made. I had the measurements. So what I had was only to look for the craftsman, okay, the welder. So, and even the person who was making me the machine, up to now, he does not know that he made a ploder. He always asked me, what was the machine for? I do motor, rewinding. So getting a motor for me, it's very simple. I got a motor from scrap at it was almost 15,000. I got a gearbox from scrap, and then I started assembling the machine. I got a friend of mine who is a welder. I have machines for welding to weld. So he assembled the machine for me. Then from that point, I had the gauges, those things that are called gauges. One used to make nodules and the other one is to make the bar soaps. So I assembled the whole machine, and from there I had the machine.
Wow. And you tested it and it is working?
I tested it by myself. The machine was working, it was doing great, the conveyor belt was moving, everything was working.
So from 20,000 shillings learning, you were able to make a saving, because definitely you paid 20,000 for knowledge, isn't it? You came down. How much roughly did the entire machine cost you getting all those second-hand parts. And I think you went to the scrap metal to get the other mabatis?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So roughly how much did it cost you?
Including the training?
No, without the training, just the machine.
Just the machine costed me around 60,000.
60,000, and you had a saving of around 60 to 250.
I had a saving of around 190,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yani kukaa na kufikiria tu.
Kukaa tu na kufikiria.
Wonderful. Now, let's get to another question. What was your first investment? Having gotten this machine, then what next?
So after I got this machine, I started moving around the hotel, because the main ingredient that we use to make soap is oil. So I started to look on how I'm going to get the oil, especially the palm oil.
What kind of oil do you use to make?
We have two types of oil. We have the used cooking oil, and also we have the palm oil. So it depends on the formulation and the ratios that you're going to use. Okay, my first investment was to look for the oil, because 50% of soap is made of oil.
Okay.
So I had to find some oil from a friend of mine who had taught me how to do the formulation. So
you learned the formulation of bar soap from another friend of yours?
Yeah, I learned it from another friend of mine.
Because the most important thing here is you had the machine, the plodder, which you were able to make for yourself. Then you finally sought to learn the formula.
Yeah, to learn
from a friend.
Yeah, and this friend, I got it from TikTok.
Oh.
So yeah, because if you get through my pages, the only people whom I follow, there are people who are related to things to do with bar soap making and other things, that other products.
Ufuatangi wanasiasa?
No, sifatangi wanasiasa.
Hawana shida ndo utaki siasa ya Kenya wewe?
Sifati wanasiasa, they have not solved our problem, so there's no need to follow them.
So you follow people who are in industry, soap making,
tissue making, candle making, but my concentration is in soap making. So that is what I do. So
you finally got the formula, and then you had the plodder.
So I got the friend.
Yes.
I texted him through, I DM'd him.
Yes.
I got his number, and then he called me to go to Nairobi to do training.
So he trained you at how much?
So he trained me at around, it was 45,000.
45,000?
Yeah.
To learn how to make soap?
To learn how to make soap.
You're there for how long?
I was there for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
So by the time you're coming back, you really knew how to make bar soap?
I had already
known. He took you through all the practicals?
Yeah.
And then you came back to Eldoret?
Yeah.
You had your plodder?
I had my plodder. I had also bought some oil from him.
Yes.
We made friendship to an extent that he showed me all the shops that sell chemicals for making soap
in Nairobi.
The entire Nairobi. Yeah. So for me, getting chemicals and oil, it is not difficult. So I came back with the oil. I came back with the materials, with the caustic. Came back with the silicate and all the related chemicals.
Good. So where did you place this machine? Because you made it, and where is it?
Okay, the machine is big. The machine is almost 3 meters long, 1 meter, 2 meters high. So the machine is big. I have a home.
Yes.
So of many bedrooms. So I chose to take 1 bedroom for my business, by the way.
So ulichukua bedroom yako ndio factory yako?
Bedroom yangu, I just wanted to utilize the space, because the house is almost 6 bedrooms, and just me and my wife and my 3 kids and my housemaid. So it's a very interesting story from Omodo, and I think it is a very important lesson for us to learn that Omodo got the formulation for soap.
he finally was able to make his plotter. And again, the journey of making the plotter was very interesting. He finally was able to get his small workshop, and the interesting part is that the workshop is at home. Something that Viwanda Africa has been saying to us several times, that you do not need to begin big. Always begin where you are with what you have, the small resources that you have. Omodo has begun in his bedroom. Do you sell soap? Do you produce?
Yeah.
Are you able to produce from your bedroom?
Yeah, I do.
Tell us about it.
As I've said earlier, I am an engineer by profession.
Yes.
And I do motor rewinding. So during the day, I am busy at my workshop doing repairing work, installing motors to different people, repairing pumps, water pumps, and all that. But after that, also my wife is busy, is a teacher by profession. So after that, maybe after in the evening, I'll be back at my place. Just from 7 to 9, I'll be doing soap at the comfort of my home. Then maybe later in the morning, maybe at 6, when she's preparing to go to school, we will be doing, before she gets out, we'll be doing some packaging. And that is how we go.
Tell us about this business. You are in motor rewinding, and does that mean that this business is not able to give you enough income? When you look at it, you know, you have invested a lot in terms of the machine, in terms of the background knowledge, the formulation. Why not just scale it up?
Right now, you know, the biggest problem I have, or the biggest challenges I have, is how getting palm oil for making soap. That is the biggest problem, and that is the reason why at some point also I have to do my other job. And because I can go up to 1 week I've not done production because I don't have soap, but other materials, other chemicals are just available. So that is the reason why I have diverted attention. But my attention and my focus is on soap. Right now, what I'm working on how I can get plenty of oil. If I can get, let's say, even 100 drums, from there now I won't stuck anyway.
So once you get to know where to get palm oil, which is your biggest limitation, you get palm oil. You'll be able to you'll be able to produce in bulk.
I'll be able to produce in bulk.
One night when you come back home and sit with your wife, let's say between 7 to 9 o'clock, or maybe towards whatever time, how much bar soap are you able to produce in a day?
In a day, in one batch, I only produce 300 bar soap. That is 10 boxes.
10 boxes?
Yeah.
That is 300?
300.
300,
the sales for 300 is almost 50,000.
When you sell,
it's 40,000.
40,000.
Yeah.
When you sell all those.
When I sell all those.
Are you able to sell them in a day?
Yeah. I just distribute to the local shops.
So it's very interesting. Your industry is in your bedroom, and your market is
just around my locality.
And have you ever been able to produce in a way that you're unable to sell? You know, like you have stock that is just dead, nobody's buying, or there's demand. Is there demand for your product?
At the time I started formulating soap for myself at my home, before I started, I told the surrounding shops that from now, we will just be getting soap from the comfort of your neighbor, our neighborhood here.
So you went marketing yourself?
I went marketing myself.
Tell me about your first customer, because that penetration to the market is a big problem to so many people. Tell me about your first customer.
My first customer was the nearest shop.
The nearest shop?
Yeah, the nearest shop. I made 30 bar soaps.
30 boxes or 30?
30 bar soaps.
30 bar soaps.
Three boxes. I gave him, he sold, and he got a lot of feedback that the soap had a lot of foam.
Foam.
Yeah. So he started getting the demands. I just want the Hanna Bar soap.
Oh, your bar soap is called Hanna Bar soap.
Hey, Hanna Bar soap. I just want Hanna Bar soap. Hanna Bar soap. The foam. My concentration is in the foam. The foam is the quality foam, and so women, they like a lot of foam when it comes to washing clothes. So he had a lot of orders. So he has been pushing me in other shops surrounding. When somebody went to the shop and asked, "Do you have Hanna soap? Do you have Hanna soap?" So from that demand, I had a lot of orders from the locality.
I was going to ask you how your bar soap has actually competed with the other, because we have bigger brands on the market. I don't want to mention them. There are those brands. If you go to supermarkets, you'll find those brands there. How has your brand, the Hanna brand, competed with these other big brands? Don't you feel intimidated?
No, I don't feel intimidated. Number one, personally, I'm working on quality, and I'm also working on how to make Hanna Bar soap different from others. My soap, as we are talking right now, this one for washing clothes, it has a scent.
Oh, it has a scent?
Yeah, and I chose lemon scent because lemon scent, it's kind of universal. Number two, also, I'm looking up about the foam. From the feedbacks, people are saying that my soap has a lot of foam, and the we call it longevity. Also, it's so hard in a way that it can stay long compared to other soaps. Yeah.
Now, your story is very inspiring. I just want you to look at very many young people out there, because you're a village boy, though you're born in town, but you're local. You come from a village.
Yeah.
Look at these young men and women who are at home. A number of them are on social media, disillusioned. They say, "Hakuna kazi, we can't do anything. We are just at home. We're expecting government to give us a job." What would you advise that young boy and girl at home? Because, when I listen to you, I see a man who is so determined. What would you tell that young man there at home?
Okay. There's one post that I saw on your pages that says, if others have done it, I can also do it. Right now, I have a neighbor who is just a young person. She does sell these groundnuts, zile njugu karanga. Anaenda kwa duka, ananunua, ana package, anaanza kudistribute. Kuna venye nazi package, his package is branded, very well branded, and I distribute to the market. I have a friend of mine whom I introduced to making bottled water. So you go to somebody who has a machine. You see these bottles nowadays, they are readily available.
Yes.
Ananunua nini chupa zake, anaenda pale kwa refills, ananunua maji yake, ana brand jina yake, anatembea nayo, anapatia watu. One thing with the young boys that we are having right now is that they are just waiting to get rich tomorrow, without having a vision, a dream, and a plan on how to get rich. In this life, if you don't have a vision, you don't have a dream, and you don't have a plan to implement that dream, I just want to say that you're going nowhere. So from that, I just want to encourage young men that whatever you are, there's a lot of opportunity. It's just you to utilize, to get one and utilize it and do whatever you can do. Yeah.
Thank you so much, my friend Omodo. The story is quite deeper than what we've been able to extract from him. But when you listen to this young man at 30, he has a factory in his house. He didn't start in an easy way.
Yeah.
A determined soul. At 30, he had already strategically placed himself to manufacture. At 20, he was married. And when he began his manufacturing journey, he got to a point where any human being would actually give up, but he didn't. Confronted by a budget of 250,000, buying a machine that would make bar soap, he decided he's going to go it the other way. Registered himself inside, in as an enterprise in one of the guys that produces the plodders. He learned how to produce a plodder. Came back, went to the scrap metal, collected old motors and old gearboxes, and today he has a plodder. He asked himself, where do I start? Realized he has a house with an extra bedroom that is not being used, and that is where he's learning, that is where he is making bar soap. What a determined young man. Listening to this story and placing yourself, where are you going to be 20 years from now? What will you be doing at 30? That's the question that Omodo will be asking you today. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to our friend Omodo. We really hope that next time we can dig in a little bit more deeper into his story and be able to learn, so that we can be able to make Africa a great place to be. Thank you so much for listening to Viwanda Africa, and God bless you.